Perfect. Welcome here, everybody. Super excited to have you all join us this lovely Tuesday evening. Very proud of everyone who always shows up on a Tuesday in summer. Like this to me, this is family. So every Tuesday we get together. It's like a family meeting. And so I appreciate you all very much. We are going to kick this off right away. I'm going to have Tiara sharing our product highlight first because we are on her baby schedule. So Briar is sleeping right now, and she's like, Sheila, yeah, I could go first. I mean, of course you can go first. Of course, I know what that's like. So I have no idea what product Tiara picked today, but I'm very excited to hear what she has to share.
Hey everyone, I hope my sound is okay. Our air conditioning is very loud in this month. Okay, so I'm going to talk about Hydrate. I use a lot of Hydrate now because I'm nursing and it's just been very, very good for me. I guess in Canada it's Hydroplex, but I just call it Hydrate. So it comes in two flavors, the lemon lime and the blueberry acai. I don't know how to say that. Okay. And that one is available on the NFR site, and we have the lemon lime on the Canadian site too. So my favorite way to drink it right now, the lemon lime, is with the sweet tea slim. It is so good. That's my afternoon go-to, and I look forward to it every day. I like the blueberry one with the pink drink. Those are my two favorite combos with those two different kinds. So Plexus Hydrate or Hydroplex hydrates better than water alone. I wonder how many times I can say hydrate in one sentence. The potassium in hydrate is a mineral and an electrolyte that your body needs to work properly. I did not know that. It helps your nerves to function and muscles to contract. Also helps your heartbeat stay regular. I also did not know that until today. So each serving provides 190% of the daily value of vitamin C, which is more than 2 whole oranges. And I know for myself, I don't eat 2 oranges every day. So Hydrate is a much easier way to get that in. It only has 10 calories, whereas Gatorade has 190 calories. And it has magnesium. And if you didn't know, every organ in our body needs magnesium. So I love that. It's sugar-free, and Gatorade has 48 grams of sugar, which I feel like kind of defeats the purpose of all of this healthy stuff. It maintains good water balance in the body, which is critical support for the normal function of the body's muscles, nerves, heart, and brain. And of course, it has no artificial colors, flavors, sweeteners, or preservatives. It's all the good stuff, none of the bad stuff, which we all know Plexus is known for that. We don't have to worry about any of that ever. And it's so easy to throw a couple packets in your purse or your bag and take it on the go. I do that all the time. I always have a stock in my diaper bag. My kids love it too. That's their go-to drink. They make their own. It makes a big mess, but they like doing it, so whatever. And I know they're getting all the good electrolytes and all that stuff in. I like to throw it into smoothies or make popsicles. My kids love the popsicles. I got $2 popsicle molds from Walmart, and it works so well. They are gone very quickly. And I feel like it would make a good slushy made with the Ninja Creamy that we are all getting for free this month, right? So yeah, that's all I have for now. And yeah, I love my Hydrate.
Love it. That was so good. It's the perfect summer product to talk about. Like the perfect summer product because we need that. And I will just say I miss the canisters. I really do because the single packets, I will use a lot of scoops at once and fill a really big bottle, but it's all good. I'm very glad we have the single packets, but I'm very excited that we have a very special story that's going to be shared today, and I am very thrilled because when I messaged her, I was really hoping she would answer, and she did. Esther is going to share her story with us today, and I'm very excited to hear from you. So, Esther, so glad you're here, and I can't wait to hear what you have to share. Can you unmute yourself?
Hey everyone, my name is Esther. I am 24 years old and I have been married for almost 7 years now. If you can't tell, I'm really, really nervous. I've never done this before, so bear with me. Sheila asked me to share my story today, and as nervous as I was, I figured I would give it a go. So, I used to be this really healthy, skinny little girl growing up. I was never really sick. I was a really healthy person. And after I got married, the change was drastic. I gained a lot of weight. I never felt good. I was always nauseous after eating. I didn't feel good at all. I had horrible mood swings. You can ask my husband that. And yeah, I never had any energy either. I would sit on the couch all day long. I just never had energy. And I figured that might just be my new normal. I tried a lot of things and nothing ever helped me. It made it worse. And yeah, so last year, beginning of the year, Rebecca asked me if I was interested in Plexus. And I think almost everyone probably is scared to say yes to something new. And I was really sketchy because I had tried so many things and nothing helped. But yeah, I said no to her a couple times. I'm so sorry, Rebecca. I didn't mean it in a bad way, but yeah, I was nervous to say yes. But when I finally did, sorry, give me 1 second. When I
It's all
finally,
okay.
what was that?
It's all okay. You are in the safest place possible here.
When I finally did say yes, I noticed big, big changes on my second day of using it. I had unreal energy. My husband asked me what I had taken that day because I was flying around the house and I was working, and he was like, "What did you take? Because you just have so much energy." And I noticed the last little while, a lot of people have been asking me, how do you get your energy, or how are you so energized all day? Like, they see my posts, they see my stories, and they see how motivated I am or how energetic I am. I keep going. And I've been telling a lot of them already. I've used Plexus, so let's hope they come back and ask me to sign up. But yeah. And my financial reason for starting was, I don't know if a lot of you know, but we are doing IVF. And it is a long, hard, very expensive journey. And I figured this might help with that. And it has already a little bit, not a lot, but in the future, I'm sure it will help more. And I have noticed great changes also with my mood swings. I haven't had mood swings in a long while. I do get them on my monthlies, which is probably normal, but they are not as bad as they used to be. And my periods are not as bad either. I used to lay in bed, like crumbling with pain. It was horrible. And now I rarely notice anything. I do have cramps, but not that bad. And I feel amazing. I feel like I'm the healthiest person I've ever been, and I'm really, really thankful for that. But yeah, I think that's basically my story. I tried to make it short, not too long. Hopefully it all makes sense. And yeah, thanks for letting me share.
You did amazing, Esther. Thank you so much for sharing that. And I know you were really nervous, but at the same time, when I messaged her, she said, I really want to do this. And I love that because that's just your willingness to step in and do something scary shows me how willing you are to grow. And that is just the best thing ever, truly the best thing ever. One, I love how you said, I said no, that you said no to Rebecca a few times. And I don't think you need to apologize for that. I think the best part about that is it's such a good reminder for us that when we're reaching out to people, they might be scared to say yes. They might be scared to step into something new. And so if we continue to follow up, because a lot of people take a lot of time, right? If we continue to follow up, we will always be there for them. And secondly, you have been so open and honest about sharing your infertility journey on Facebook. I know how it must be so incredibly hard for you guys, but I would like my light back. Thank you. For all of us here, like when we think of Esther and her husband, let's just say an extra prayer for them over this next while. I just know you guys would make amazing parents. So thank you for sharing your story. That was very special. I appreciate it. I was thinking about what I wanted to share this week. I've been thinking about it for a long time. And the other day, my husband came home with a poem on a piece of paper and a poem, like an actual poem. And he's like, I found this at work and I printed off one for you and one for my mom because I thought you would both like it. And it was very sweet. And this poem, wow, I'm going to read it for you guys. And as I'm reading it, I want you to think of your relationships. I want you to think of your life. I want you to think of your business. I want you to think of your health journey. I want you to think of all of the things where it has been hard, where you have struggled, where you have felt like giving up. I want you to think about all those things. I want you to think about the people that are around you. And then afterwards, we're going to go through it a little bit because I feel like this needs to be dissected. So this poem is called Holes, and it's written by a poet called Scott Lewis. I had been in that hole for a very long time, in the dark and in the damp, in the cold and the slime. The shaft was above me, I could see it quite clear, but there was no way I could reach it from here. Nor could I remember the world way up there, so I lost all my hope and gave in to despair. I knew nothing but darkness, the floor and the walls. Then off in the distance, I heard someone call, "Get up, get ready, there's nothing the matter. Take rocks and old sticks and build up a fine ladder." This had never occurred to me, had not crossed my mind, but I started to stack all the stones I could find. When I ran out of stones, then old sticks were my goal. For one way or another, I'd get out of that hole. So I soon had a ladder that was sturdy and tall, and I thought, I'll soon leave this place once and for all. I climbed up my ladder. It was no easy chore, for from lifting those boulders, my shoulders were sore. I climbed up the ladder, but soon had to stop, for my ladder stopped short, some 10 feet from the top. I climbed back down my ladder and started to cry. I had done all I could do. I gave my best try. And in spite of my work, in this hole I must die. And all I could do was sit and think, why? Was my ladder too short, or my hole much too deep? Then from way up high came a voice, "Do not weep." And then faith, hope, and love entered into my chest, as the voice said to me that I'd done my best. He said, "You've worked very hard, and your labor's been rough, but the ladder you've built is at last tall enough. Do not despair, you have reason to hope. Just climb up your ladder, I'll throw down my rope." I climbed up the ladder, then climbed up the cord. When I got to the top, there stood the Lord. I couldn't be happier, my struggle was done. I blinked in the brightness that came from the sun. I fell to the ground, his feet did I kiss. I cried, "What can I do to repay thee for this?" When he looked all about him, there were holes in the ground. They had people inside, and they were seen all around. There were thousands of holes that were damp, dark, and deep. The Lord turned to me, and he said, "Feed my sheep." Then he went on his way to help other lost souls, and I got right to work, calling down to the holes. "Get up, get ready, there's nothing the matter. Take rocks and old sticks and build up a fine ladder." It was now my turn to spread the good word, the most glorious message that man had ever heard, that there's one who is willing to save one and all, and we've got to be ready when he gives the call. He'll pull us out of our hole that we're in and save all our souls from death and from sin. So do not lose faith, there is reason to hope. Just build up your ladder, he'll throw down his rope. And I thought that was the most beautiful poem I had read in a long time. And I thought, even if you don't have the same faith as me, that is okay, because I feel this is still applicable. When I read this, I thought, I always feel, I don't believe in coincidence. I believe everything has a purpose and a plan and divine intervention. And I have had this reoccurring theme in my head, feed my sheep, for such a long time. And everywhere I turn, I see it. Feed my sheep, feed my sheep. Like God calling me to servanthood, to take care of people around me, to love on people. And when you look at the top people in Plexus, what do they do the most of? They serve. They serve. They love on people. That is what they do. We are called to servanthood. John Maxwell says that leadership is servanthood. That is truly what it is. It is not standing up on stage and getting all the accolades and getting all the trophies and getting all the prizes. No, that's not leadership. Leadership is standing in the back and pushing your team to the front. It's pushing your people to success. It is pushing your people to the greatness that you know is within them. That is leadership. That is true leadership. And when we stand up and we push people and we love people and we care for people, that is when we succeed, because we rise by lifting others. And so as I was reading this poem, I had been in that hole for a very long time. What is your hole? The people around us, when we look at our social media, what is their hole? Depression, anxiety, debt, trauma, horrible relationships. What hole are they in? Where can we serve them? Where can we add value to the people around us? So I lost all my hope and gave in to despair. I feel like our world is so broken right now. And we have something great that we get to offer people. We get to bring hope. We get to bring hope. Today in our chats, we had conversations about companies switching from MLM, network marketing, to affiliate marketing and what it is and all of the details like that. There's a lot of people feeling hopeless right now. And this may not be the time to tell them about anything, but now could be the time to just be their friend, to just love on them. And then off in the distance, I heard someone call. To me, when I read this, I thought, who we surround ourselves with is important. Because we will all go through valleys. We will all go through struggles. And when you are surrounded by people who know your potential and who believe in your potential and who see what you are capable of, they will come to you and they will say, hey, get up, get ready. There's nothing the matter. You can do this. I know it's hard, but you are capable. If you surround yourself with people like that, and who can we be those people for? Who can we be when we rise up and become our best selves, like Mom said? So we are the sum of the 5 people we spend the most time with. Are you surrounding yourself with really good people? Because that's important. Your circle matters. Yes, I can share this. I can share this poem. I'll share it in our chats later. And then I love how he says, after, this had never occurred to me. It had not crossed my mind. There are people waiting for a solution, but your solution may never have crossed their mind. We get to show them. We get to be the people that show them what's possible. And when he heard that solution, he said, for one way or another, I get out of that hole. He had hope now again. He had hope because, hey, this is possible. Someone believes in me. I can do this. I can do this. And then despair comes again, because there is no success without failure. Success is not a one-way climb. It doesn't go like this. Unfortunately, we all wish it did. And when we look at other people's journeys, we think it does. We look at somebody standing up there as a 10-star diamond and we think, oh, only I could be like that. It must have been so simple for her. She must have all the right skills and know all the right people. It wasn't simple for her. I can promise you that. It was a whole lot of this and a lot of deep dives too. It's not simple for anybody, but the difference is, and I love Jessica Heffley, and I will never forget, I think my favorite speech of hers ever was at the MGM Grand in Las Vegas. And she was bragging about her $3 green shoes that she got on clearance and how she can make more than a brain surgeon in her yoga pants. And she said the only difference between the diamonds up here and everybody else in the crowd was that they had had more failure. They had had more no's. They had more people say no to them. That's the only difference. You will incur failure. You will incur no's. They're going to come. And it is how we approach them that matters. This man in his hole, he fell back down to despair. Why? Why? In spite of all my work in this hole, I must die. He just gave up right away. Until somebody again came and gave him encouragement. Who is your circle? Who are the people that you surround yourself with? Life is sometimes hard. We go through trials. And man, sometimes when it rains, it pours, or it feels like that. But nothing is in vain. If there's anything I have learned in my last decade of life, is that nothing is in vain. Every trial that you go through, every struggle that you incur is going to be for a purpose later on, whether it is to make you stronger. But I can promise you this, if you go through a struggle in your business, if you go through something hard, it is highly likely that you are going to need that lesson for your team down the road. Because they will go through it, and then you can stand beside them and say, I know how this feels. I was there. Let me walk with you. Because empathy matters so much. And you cannot have true empathy until you have gone through something yourself. You don't know what the death of a loved one feels like until you have experienced it. And you don't wish that on anybody. You don't know the pain of something until you have experienced it. That is empathy. Life, I mean, we wish it was all rose-colored glasses, but it's not going to be, right? It's not going to be. That's a delusional thought. Life is hard, but we can either allow our struggles to make us bitter or make us better. And when we allow our struggles to make us better, we have such a great impact on the people around us, because we can help them to allow their struggles to make them better instead of bitter. What can I do to repay you for this? And he looked around and he saw all these holes with these people sitting in them, just waiting for somebody to come and tell them, hey, get up. Nothing's the matter. You can do this. Oh, it makes me so emotional to think right now that there are a lot of holes with people sitting in them, waiting for us to bring them hope. Maybe they are struggling with depression. Maybe they are living in so much pain that they can't even function. Maybe their debt is so deep that they are terrified of just the next month because there's going to be way more payments than there are paychecks. We offer hope. Don't ever look at that as being something that's too small. What you offer is so great. And the right person that is going to come along is going to need that. Last week, we talked about how, pretty sure it was last week, if I remember correctly. At some point in time, my timing is probably wrong. At some point in time, we have talked about how, I remember now where it's from. Barb shared in one of our chats. You can talk to 100 people. Those 100 people become, oh, what was that again? Even less. Mom's gonna get it. Basically, that one right person is waiting for you. Even if that means sifting through many people, that one right person that is waiting for you is worth it. It is worth it because they are waiting for you to come and help them change their lives.
So it's talk to 500 people. 250 say they will take a look. 125 actually take a look. 25 sign up. Of the 25 that you sign up, 25 intend to do the business. 15 do something. 5 actually become active. One of those 5 becomes a leader. We need both funnels when we wrap our head around just needing 5 true leaders. It sounds like a lot of work, but cultivating 5 true leaders gives you a business that means freedom in your life. Because if you think about all those 500 people, they may still be customers.
Mhm.
Doesn't mean that they are never going to be in your business. Were
Yeah.
you done, Sheila?
Yeah, and in the end, do not lose faith. There is reason to hope. So, when you're talking to people today, just think about all the holes. You might not see what their hole is. People are really good at hiding. You might not see from their social media, their hole might be depression, their hole might be debt, whatever it is. You might not see what their hole is. But when we are there for them and we focus on the needs of other people, they will show us their holes. They will. Did you have something you wanted to share, Mom?
Just a little bit. Thank you so much. That was very impactful. And I agree. I think that that poem needs to be shared, that we can all print it and hang it in front of us and have the visual of all the holes in front of us, right? And it's interesting that you chose that today, because several of us have been just collaborating a little bit and reading a book together. And, we're always working on personal development. And I remember when I came to Plexus and I was thinking of personal development, why do they want me to read books? I'm just going to do more reach outs. I'm just going to do more IPA. And when I got behind the understanding that when we grow ourselves, us personally as a person, that means that you can become your best self in order to help more people. And so if you heard Sheila talk about servanthood, learning to serve well, learning to talk to more people, learning to lead people, learning to be your best self takes a lot of work. And you may as well get a whole ton load of personal development books to help you, because if not, it's just going to take a whole lot longer. And so we have been hearing about 2 books since about beginning of this year. Some of the diamonds have been throwing around the 10X instead of the 2X book. Some of you may have heard a little bit of that convention being talked about. And then there was one that was more so in between for builders and for everybody. And it is this book. And it's called Build to Last. And I'm just going to read you a couple of paragraphs out of this book. And you can decide if you think that it's worth pursuing personal development. There will always be ups and downs in your business, in my business, in Plexus, and the economy. Nothing is ever linear, like Sheila just talked about. And if we make good use of the times that are not as where we want to be yet, but if we make good use of that time and really pour into personal development and get yourself ready for that next burst of growth that is coming, then you're going to be all the more ahead. And so my analogy years ago, I feel like I always need a visual. I always need a visual of how something looks like in life. But when we did one of John Maxwell's 21 Irrefutable Laws of Personal Development, when we did that book study, there was one law, and these are just 21 laws. They're not technically laws, but he has deemed them as laws. 21, what would you have a different name for that? Common occurrences in life, very common occurrences that are trackable, traceable. And one of them he calls the law of the lid. And all that means, and I know that lots of you have probably heard me talk about it, all that means is you will only grow to the point of where your lid is. And that means that's basically your capacity, right? That's basically of where you kind of stop. And the funny thing is, I think the stats are super high on what the percentage is of adults that have never ever yet read a book after they left high school. They just don't read, right? And if you think about the opportunity to grow in a book that gives you more information, more wisdom, more knowledge, it's pretty easy, right? It's pretty easy to grow if you pick up a book. And so the law of the lid basically just states that you're only going to be attracting people that fit under your lid. And so if you're a 5 out of 10, you're never going to attract more than a 4. Is that 4 ever going to do more than you? Probably not. Probably not. Now, if you lift your lid and you really grow and you're really leaning into personal development, into learning leadership, and you're really working your business and learning from the things that you are doing, your lid is going to lift. Now, say you come to an 8 and you all of a sudden attract a 7. That 7 might say, I'm going for it. And she might become a 10 and she's going to bypass you, right? That is the beauty of this business. We want to attract people that are better than us. We want to make sure that this business is for everyone. You can have 2s in your business. You can have people that want to be a 0. Seriously, they could still take the products, but they're never probably going to be a diamond, right? But if we look at encouraging ourselves to grow, imagine a book that gives you the step-by-step on creating a big business you can be proud of. This is it. Keith Callahan combines leadership development and network marketing so well and provides tangible steps anyone can use to build a business. Okay, so I just went through a little bit and highlighted a couple things because I'm on my 2nd time reading this book now. First time, honestly, I skimmed it a little bit because we were traveling and stuff, and I just wanted to get the content of the book. And there's a whole bunch of meaty pieces in this book when you go through it, really intentionally looking at where it can serve you. And it's going to be personal to you because it means the things that you will take from it means that you will hear the things that you need to hear, right? And this was one of the commentaries. Our past does not have to be our compass for the future. The truth is the compelling drive that has built Keith Callahan a multi-million-dollar business and the legacy of hundreds of leaders' lives changed forever. Keith is a man of high integrity and character. Good. He's a good guy. He built a multi-million-dollar business within mostly of a feminine environment. So he came to a company where it was mostly women, and he decided, you know what? I'm not just going to recruit thousands of people and wait for magically someone to actually, become a leader. So he said, I'm looking for 5 people. And meanwhile, I'm filtering through all these people that I'm still sponsoring, but I'm looking for 5 people that literally want to be the top of the top of the top, right? And so when you're looking for a leader, you're going to be looking at different things than if you're just sponsoring a person that just wants to try our products, right? And so have you ever wondered why a select few experience success in network marketing at the highest levels year after year while everyone else struggles? Is it because they're simply better than you and more deserving? Success at the highest levels is for others, but not for you. Is it because they work harder than you? Is it because they got in at the top of the pyramid? Maybe they have a better sponsor or are on a better team. The answer, none of the above. The real reason select few experience success at the highest levels, while the majority struggle, is simply mindset. Is that one word? Is that one powerful word, right? The super successful build with the mindset of a CEO, while everyone else builds with the mindset of an employee. So this is why when people are learning and they're out there doing things and they're asking questions and we're like, I'm not your boss. This is your business. You get to build this exactly how you want. That is why we need to have that mindset shift of knowing this is our business. We can build this in the way that's going to work for us, right? And so you can put in all the effort you want and work 10 times harder than everyone else. But if your mindset is that of an employee, you will get the results of an employee at best. On the other hand, if you have the mindset of a CEO and take the daily actions of a CEO, you're setting yourself up to get the results of a CEO. Here's the good news. You have the ability to change your mindset and attract success at the highest levels. So, and then a couple pages down, he talks about, will this work for you? Right now, you may be thinking, does this work? Is this going to work for me? Can I do this? The answer is yes. Yes, this will absolutely work for you and you can do it. Those are not the right questions to ask though. The question is not, will this work? The real question to ask yourself is, am I willing to do what it takes? The important word there is willing. Are you willing to do the necessary work to become the person you need to become, right? And so couple more pieces, a little bit into chapter 2. I'm just giving you like pieces of meat, and then you can decide if you actually, oh, there's one more here that I'm going to do. If you actually want to read this book, because I feel like this book is for everyone. And when you decide that you want this business to work for you, you're going to have to add some puzzle pieces to where you're at in order to grow, right? So leadership and relationships. We talked about serving today and servanthood and what it looks like to help other people. Now, let's remember we can only help people to the degree that we understand. That's the lid that we're coming up against, right? And so leadership and relationships are the cornerstone of a network marketing business that lasts. Without leadership and deep relationships, you might have some short-term success, but attrition will begin showing up in your business and it will eventually fall apart from the bottom up. Our industry has two distinct types of leaders: leaders of followers and leaders of leaders. Leadership expert John Maxwell offers the best description of each. A leader of followers needs to be needed, he says, and a leader of leaders wants to be exceeded. This principle is so important, I want to repeat it for you. Leaders of followers need to be needed. And you know what? Sometimes people will work harder for praises than they will for raises, right? And it's not always the exact right focus for your business. But leaders of leaders want to be exceeded. And so that just means that you want to find people that want to do this with you, that you know full well that are better than you, and you are so excited for them. All you're doing is encouraging, walking with them, and allowing them to come and build this with you. Guess what's going to happen? Your business is going to explode and you are going to grow like crazy. So if you think about closing off today, and if you think about, oh, that's a lot. We're thinking about people in holes. We're thinking of finding leaders, right? It's a wide span of what we talked about today. But if you think about 5 people that you would love to build Plexus with, do you know what's going to happen? You're going to start looking for people that have similar interests to you. You're going to start looking for people that have similar passions, that really want to serve and love people. You're going to look for people that want to do things like travel with you, or have big goals in their life that they want to accomplish. And maybe they need Plexus to be the vehicle that takes them there, right? Financial goals, you need something on the side to have an extra income to conquer some of those big financial goals. And so you're going to start sponsoring people that are probably better than you, and watch your business take off. In that process, you're going to be able to serve a ton of people, and you're going to learn so much. So a little bit of encouragement for your summer. I feel like it's always good to raise our eyes above of where we are right now currently, and look ahead and think about, where am I going to be 5 years from now? And like Sheila said, like there's going to be things happening in your life where you're going to feel like, I'm not sure if I can do this. But if you're running with people that want to do this with you, they will hold you accountable. You will hold them accountable. And it makes it so much easier to work and build together. I hope that encourages you. And I hope that opens up your mind to thinking of finding people that want to do this with you. Shortly, coming into like early fall, we're going to be talking about doing this book with a whole group of people. And we're going to take a couple people that have already gone through it, and we're going to really break it down with you. So if you're interested, you could already go grab the book, start reading it, because it's really, really good. And there's something in there for every person at every level of growth. The more you're going to grow, say 5 years later, you would pick up the book again and you would be like, are you sure that was in there the first time I read that? I didn't find that. I did that with the 5 levels of leadership with John Maxwell's book. I think I've read it probably about, I don't know, from 7 to 9 times. I still feel like if I would pick it up, there would be more leadership tips in there that I hadn't grasped fully before. And that's only because I am growing into those things and becoming aware of them. And so don't feel like, oh, I read the book and I didn't get much out of it. You know what? Maybe you're just going to have to grow more, and then some of those things are going to be making sense to you. And then on the next time, you're going to be like, ah, this makes sense. I know what they're talking about. So it's a gradual growth of where we are in life, of where we're growing our business to, the people that we meet, the people that we serve, even where your family is. All those things are experiences that cause you to grow. Because, as you know, everyone here knows at least 5 people. That means you're a leader. That means like you do something for someone that helps you lead other people. All right. We're going to close off a little bit earlier tonight. I thank you so much for being here on a summer evening. Thank you for sharing, Tira, Esther. That was really, really good. Thank you for sharing your story. Have a great night, guys. Take care.
Thanks for being here.